Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
You know what I was thinking about today? I was like, this is probably our Christmas episode, right?
Yeah, because we're not doing one next week, right?
No, we're not going to do one next week.
What?
I think it's Christmas Day would be the next recording.
Yeah. I'm going to open up my gifts and there's going to be a microphone that's on and some headphones and I'm going to put them on and we're going to record. I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, you're right. My
Screw you,
bad.
family, and then walk into a different room. Opens presents box. Here's Guilty Gear music startup. What? Heaven or hell?
This is your one day with your family. I'm sorry. I have to go record a video game podcast.
It's true.
Goodbye.
I need double-digit subscriber.
But anyway, continue.
This is more interesting than you are.
Well, speaking of recording a video game podcast, welcome to episode 28, a very special Christmas episode. I know, right? We're doing it. Of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Fliz, your host, and I'm joined by these three wonderful men, Kyler, Soon, and Strider.
Yeah.
How you doing, gentlemen?
Hello. Doing good.
Good. We got a couple things to talk about today. I know I said it's a special Christmas episode. I'm just saying that. That doesn't actually mean anything.
I don't think we have anything Christmas related.
No. Video games and Christmas do not mix. The only Christmas game, like I think Batman was a Christmas game.
Yeah.
Arkham something.
It was.
I mean, besides like Christmas events and like getting games for Christmas, that's the...
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in Call of Duty, we used to always like, oh, Christmas noobs are hopping on. Let's go get some kills. Like that's what that was. And then like a bunch of horror games. I've played a lot of Christmas horror games and some of them like hyper violent and it left me feeling uncomfortable. What's that? There's a Steam developer who does like really terrible looking, like it looks like 80s retro game. You know what I'm talking about?
80s retro.
They have a whole bunch of like Christmas Massacre and
there's a few people that do stuff like that.
Christmas
there's
Nightmare.
a specific one. There's a specific developer that does this one style that's
Christmas,
like the stories they tell are horrible.
You talking about Puppet Combo?
Is it Puppet Combo?
They do like
it
the
might
old
be. That sounds familiar.
kind of looking VHS style.
Yep.
Yeah. They
Some of those games are dope.
One of their games is straight up just called Christmas Massacre.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. I think you're going through an orphanage with a flamethrower. I'm pretty sure it's some horrible shit going on there.
Yeah. That's the guy that made
problem.
Murder House. I remember now.
Murder House is really good though.
Yeah,
Like the one where you're in the house, that one's really cool.
A couple of them in a house.
Yeah, but I played one that was better than the rest for sure. Anyway, the point is there's not a lot of Christmas and video games mixing that's interesting or worth talking about. So we're going to talk about, like I said, the Game Awards. I don't think any of us watched the second part of Secret Level. I know I didn't. So we're going to the Game Awards first. I actually didn't get a chance to really watch it. I was busy, but I kept popping in trying to get a glimpse of this and that. And nothing terribly... As far as the Game Awards go, you guys said nothing really crazy happened, which is what I was kind of there for. But there were a lot of cool announcements. Some that... I don't know if I agree with as well. The one thing that I remember is that the winner of the Game Awards was Astrobot. And I thought that game wasn't popular enough to win that.
I was surprised.
I think everybody was a little surprised.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember on how the Game Awards awards are given out is that it's a 90-10% split for the 100 judges from different companies to the 10% viewer participation.
Okay. So I was kind of curious myself. I didn't know how that actually panned out. So it's very little viewer participation.
Except for viewers' choice. That one is specifically done by people voting.
I was kind of curious what y'all thought because I saw a clip from Pirate Software and he was really down on Astrobot winning.
Yeah.
Basically stating that Black Myth Wukong really deserved it for opening up Western audience to a Chinese market and Chinese storylines and showing that it can be done and it's fine. I don't know if I agree with that entirely because we've had a lot of Japanese fantastic games that everybody loves. I don't know if I agree with that. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, it doesn't deserve to win it just on that. Because
I didn't play it.
Having played both, I still think Astrobot is probably the better game, although it's fairly close.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Black Myth Wukong, it's a pretty good game. There are things that hold it back severely, though. Mostly the performance. Like the performance is pretty rough. And I've gone back now. I've since upgraded my computer with the 4080 Super, and it's still kind of rough. Like, and I was even in here with Strider. Like we were testing it, and like me running the game at the maximum graphics and also almost the lowest. It's like a 40 frame per second difference, which is kind of absurd. Like
that's recently.
Yeah.
That's after it's done upgraded, being optimized and everything. Like it should be running like cream at this point. And it's not.
Yeah, it's worrying. And like pretty much it's one of those things where no matter how good of a game is, like how good is it really if you can barely play it, you know, from a technical aspect, excuse me. So that is definitely like my number one critique of the game itself. And also following the storyline to Black Myth Wukong can be kind of a challenge too, which also holds it back. And it has some great things about it, but compared to Astrobot, which is just all around just a solid game, like it has very few negatives. Really, the only negative is just in a niche spot. Like that's really the only negative about Astrobot is you need to have a PlayStation 5 to play it.
Yeah, I didn't really know much about that game. All I know is it's a platformer and it's like PS5 exclusive. That's it.
Yeah, like and that's it. That's like the only negative is it's hard to play to actually get to it. That's pretty much it. I think it is the better game, but I definitely do agree that I am a fan of Black Myth Wukong kind of opening the door to more Eastern like products, especially because we've also seen this happening even just other media, like anime is one of them where we've seen more Chinese anime come out, and some of it's like really fantastic, like Fog Hill of Five Elements, which we've watched a little bit of before in the past. So I do agree with Black Myth being nice to open up the new market, but I think Astrobot definitely deserved the win over Black Myth Wukong.
To give my perspective on it, like Black Myth Wukong also, I feel, ends kind of weak. That last chapter is kind of bad from a gameplay perspective, chapter 6.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes into this massive open world section where you just fight, like, some, like, it's only bosses. There's, like, no real stage besides what you're just flying around on the cloud for. But you fight, like, the same boss, like, in different areas, like 5 or 6 times. There's like 2 ones that are copy and pasted all over, and then you have some neat bosses, and then it just kind of ends. But also, I just had the game flat out crash during that final chapter on console, and
which we had a big conversation about. Yeah. I can't understand the point of a game being on console if it doesn't run properly, or a console. I guess just on console.
I've only ever had one like game kill my console or crash, but it also killed the console.
Haven't had it kill the console. I just had to go game closed.
I think it was my original PS3 I had. I loaded up New Vegas, and it like yellow lighted the PS3.
Oh, that's New Vegas. I think that's the game I stopped playing after it destroyed my save file. I said, this is great. Not playing it anymore.
It was Fallout 3 Game of the Year that did it, and I played New Vegas afterwards because I couldn't retrieve the disc with that. I didn't know how to get it out of the system because the system was dead.
It stole the disc.
Pretty much, dude. Dude, when those things yellow light, they do not work at all anymore.
You gotta fucking strip it so you can get to your game back.
Yeah, no, legit. I would have to, if I wanted to play that game again, I would have had to take the entire system apart. And I was just like, I'm gonna go play New Vegas.
No, but to double back to Black Myth Wukong on Game of the Year, did you guys see anything about the dev posting in response
No.
to it?
No, what happened?
So
Oh no.
apparently they had written their Game of the Year acceptance speech 2 years in advance.
Oh,
Like, and they commented, and there was like a comment like, he was like, well, we got nominated for four categories, won 2 of them, but we didn't win Game of the Year, so it feels like I came out here for nothing. And it's like, Jesus Christ, why are you like, and it was just like, I think there was also something about like people, like he just felt like he came out there for no reason, but like kind of bonkers why they didn't win Game of the Year. Like, it's clearly the better game. Like, and from what we understand of like, this was all Google translated because it was originally posted in Chinese, and then Chinese native speakers were saying that the translation is putting this softer than it actually is too. Like, it's even ruder, like, and more salty.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's a meme going around in the Chinese gaming community right now, from what I understand, where people were like, after the Game Awards, were going online ready to fight Astrobot fans, but they couldn't find any. I was like, oh,
yeah.
there's like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
it's like this really toxic atmosphere to that fan base. And I do
To Black Myth Wukong?
to Black Myth Wukong, like it, like that kind of showed it, because I've seen similar feelings.
I mean, they're valid to a point, because like you definitely have to say that Black Myth Wukong is by far more popular game. Like, way more people have played it than they have Astrobot. So like, just surface level, to be honest, yeah, like it deserved to win over Astrobot. But if you actually play and put them both side by side, yeah, like if every person that played Black Myth Wukong also played Astrobot, I think like it would just feel like such a better game. Like, it's just, this is a video game.
I will say, if that was the guy's response to not winning Game of the Year, I'm kind of glad he didn't win.
Yeah, there's a little bit of feeling of that too. I could see that.
That's a pretty shitty response.
Maybe a bullet dodged.
Like,
Yeah.
us are writing it, your accepted speech 2 years in advance, when like their story was like before that, like they weren't quite sure how confident they could be in this game yet, because they didn't know how it would sell.
Oh my gosh.
Would you guys all played it? Would you say it's better than Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, or Elden Ring? Because that's kind of what I compare it to. Would you say it's better than any of those?
I would say no, because those games have had refinement through previous iterations, and
I would definitely say no.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like, even, I mean, Black Myth Wukong obviously takes a lot from Souls games. And you could say that like, yeah, those games have previous refinement, but so does Wukong. Basically, it's not like a new genre that came out.
Well,
you know
no,
what I'm
it's
saying?
because it's the studio's first game, right? They don't have the experience. They haven't worked with things before like that. Where Dark Souls 3 is like basically what, their 4th time making their game, and Sekiro's 5th, and so forth, or 6th. No, wait, Dark Souls 3 is 5th, right? Because Bloodborne was before it.
Well, I just wouldn't say they're starting from scratch, because they're basically taking everything from that kind of game.
Inspiration.
I mean,
Yeah,
still, like working on something gives you a bunch of experience and know-how,
Yeah,
like to work in your next
I get
game,
you.
which I think does a lot for the Souls games.
Because
Because I would say Black Myth Wukong is better than Demon Souls, than like the first attempt at a Souls-like game like that.
I honestly find them kind of hard to compare, to be honest with you. It feels almost a little apples to oranges, because they may the Black Myth Wukong takes aspects of those games, but I would more heavily compare it to a game like a more of an action adventure like God of War, for
I was
example.
gonna say, God of War.
Yeah, where the Souls games are more of a traditional RPG style. It's your character is very much open. They are just kind of you in the game world. Black Myth Wukong is not that. It is a established character that can do X, Y, and Z, and this is all they can do. And you can unlock some different stuff. Where, Souls games more, they're kind of whatever you are feeling and your play style. It may not sound like much, but it makes it feel like a much different game.
It's probably much more comparable to Sekiro in that respect.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah.
have a
But
defi-
I
you have
haven't
a-
played Sekiro, but
you have a-
you're probably right.
Where you have a defined tool set that the devs can build around.
Yeah.
They're-
What is
Okay.
is his name? What do they call him? Wolf?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I mean, you're a shinobi samurai esque. That's your style of functioning. You get to do
Style of
sword
functioning.
techniques and stuff.
I know. I like that. It's just my style of functioning. Don't worry about it.
Backstabs you.
I drive on the left side of the road.
It's my style of
It's just
functioning.
my style of functioning.
If you said the words
Were there-
style of
for it.
functioning, I would be completely lost without any
Oh
context.
man,
You had
we need
context.
to. I need a shirt. This is my style of functioning. I love it. We'll move. So, were there any categories that you guys were like for real? Like you
There's,
saw something win and you're
Yeah.
like, nah,
there's
come
one,
on.
There's one that was really funny,
There's
and it was
one.
Best Adaption was hilarious because they
Oh
had,
yeah.
they had like a form, like they did the entire song from Arcane, like, well, I don't
And then
know,
it didn't win.
40% of the way through the show. Like they had
Yeah.
a live band and everything. And then like the actual award gets announced like 20% later in the show, and it goes to Fallout instead.
I don't. Not only have I not seen it, I don't know anybody who has seen it.
I do, and I've heard a lot of anyone who like I've talked to that's seen it says it's pretty good. At the
I've
same
heard
time,
the same. Yeah.
it's like I've heard it from a mixture of like people who would know like the game and stuff, and then people who don't play and say it's pretty good. So, but both parties both said some like good stuff. So it's like, okay, I myself haven't seen it because I'm afraid of like live action adaptations and what the fuck they can do to things. But I might have check it out because apparently it is actually good.
I'll take the plunge myself over this Christmas break and I'll watch it because, like, yeah, that might be a good show, but Arcane was a phenomenon. Like there's a scene that I rewatch pretty often, the fight between two certain characters, and
But just
like
because it's funny to see that
it
one
still
character
gets me.
smacked with
No,
a
I don't
pipe.
watch it because it's funny. I watch it because it's like one of the best animated things I've ever seen. It's
Well,
so cool.
It's done really well. It's just also there's the humor factor at the end of it there.
Yeah, not for me. I think it's just fantastic. And I haven't heard anything about Fallout. So I haven't heard anything bad about Fallout, but I haven't heard anything that made me like. So I'll take the die. I'll
Yeah.
bite the bullet.
Can I just say, I didn't know that Knuckles was an adapt. I didn't know that existed.
Is that a show or is that a movie?
I don't know. They just like it was like Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, and we were all like, "What? Knuckles?"
It's got to be kind of hard with the Game Awards because, like, I scrolling through a lot of the nominees and winners, it's weird to see stuff on there. Like one I saw was like a Prince of Persia game that I didn't even know it came out this year, and to kind of put that up to all these other big names, but then think about all the games on Steam that have been released this year. Like it's got to be hard to do this. Like you're
Oh.
never gonna get it right. It's not like the movies where if you have these rules of like the movie had to come out in theaters and it had to be, it had to be this popular or come out, the games are harder to cover than movies, I feel like, for sure.
Yeah, no. So Knuckles, yeah, they made a show starring Idris Elba as, of course, as Knuckles. But yeah, I guess they made a show. I had no idea they turned that into a show.
I believe it. I mean, it's a thing. I have to believe it, but
I don't believe
they're
it.
Sonic has like udders and he's strapped in a machine and they're just milking him for eternity. Like he's just gonna keep pumping shit out.
The descriptor line here that says set in the cinematic universe of Sonic the Hedgehog It's funny to me. It's like comparing Sonic to like the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I mean that's just what they call it. Marvel started
Yeah.
it. Now everyone has one. DC has like 3 now. They keep breaking them down and building them up again.
DC, so I think they're killing it after this Flash one. This isn't gaming news, but just so
Thank
you know,
God.
they're killing it after this Flash one. They had the Dark Universe, which they killed after that terrible mummy movie. But that might actually be, this is the only reason why I'm talking about it, because that might actually be resurrected because they did The Invisible Man, which was actually a pretty good thriller, regardless of the content. Like, it was just a good thriller movie with a good story, which I would recommend to anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff. And now they're coming out with a Wolfman movie that I saw the trailer for that actually looks pretty baller.
Huh.
So that's, I think DC might still be trying to do stuff. I don't know what really, but you know,
I
they're
guess they
doing
got the
stuff.
money to do it. You know, it's DC.
I mean, they put all their they put all their money into multiverses. That's where all the DC characters went.
Oh my god, dude, Multiverses was up there for like best fighting game,
Yeah, that's a joke.
which is insane to me. I was like, how the hell did that flop get up there?
I mean, it was popular for a minute.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately,
enough for best fighting.
that was
game?
it. I don't know. Some of that's what I'm talking about, where some of the games just feel like why was a Prince of Persia game that nobody knows existed up in the rankings?
Well,
Why
because you didn't know the Prince of Persia game existed. That's why. Because that Prince of
did
Persia.
you guys know about
Yes.
it?
The
Yeah,
Prince
I
of
knew it was.
that
I didn't know
Metroidvania
much, but I knew it
game was-
existed.
The Metroidvania game was pretty highly rated. It's like a lot of people consider it like one of the best Ubisoft game from this year.
It's a Metroidvania one?
Yep.
Oh.
Because I think it came out at the beginning of the year. I think somewhere in time in January.
Well, I'm obviously biased, so
Isn't-
ignore me.
There a roguelike one?
Possibly.
Or is that an older one? I don't remember. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're talking about the Game Awards. Fliz, guess how many awards Balatro won?
Like, not enough.
It
Should
won,
have been game of the year.
it won 3.
Good. Balatro deserves so much. That game is, for something so simple to just pull ahead the way it has, is kind of crazy.
It's also because it
Yeah.
was made by one guy.
He's rich now.
He also,
Oh,
he
so
also
he's stupid
he
rich.
set other people up to get his rewards. His awards.
Yeah. Apparently, he was there in the audience, but he did not go up himself.
I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to go up
I
on that
feel it,
stage.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
thank
yeah,
you.
He won. Balatro won best indie game, best debut indie game, and best mobile game.
Honestly, those are
Good.
solid. It probably did deserve Game of the Year. It's like the only game I've ever heard of to actually beat out Minecraft on mobile. I don't think it's ever been done, to be honest. Or no, wait. I think Plague Inc. did it once when when COVID started. I think that.
Oh
one.
yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
We
that was
did.
one of them.
It's
Yeah.
still so fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Did you guys hear about what happened to Balatro? I think it was either today or yesterday,
Oh,
and it got an 18+ rating from from Peggy.
Why?
Isn't Peggy EU or Australia?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
European and like it's
Okay, then
basically
yeah, it's because of the.
it's
because of the
basically
game.
our
Yeah.
R rating, similar to our rating thing.
It's
ESRB.
gonna be some bullshit like it teaches you how to lose money or something.
It's because it's simulated gambling, and the dev was
Yep.
like, "Why don't I just go ahead and put loot boxes in, and that way we can bump this rating down to a 3."
yeah,
Just like fucking EA Sports FC.
So stupid.
Oh god.
Yeah, see, Astrobot doesn't have any of that shit. You know, actually, this got me thinking too, because the one of the devs for it was talking about it during the show. Do you guys remember your first game you ever played?
Oh. The first game I ever
Yeah.
like the first oh man. You guys can go. I'll have to think for a
It's
minute because
either-
mine's old school.
Mine's either NES or N64.
I can sort of remember what it was. Like it's like a faint memory. But it was either Area 51 or I think it was like a Frogger game. Like one of those two was like the first game I ever played, if I remember
The
correctly.
furthest back for me I can think is like playing Alex Kidd Miracle World on like Sega Master System.
Yeah.
Okay, I know mine. Mine was I had a babysitter who was dope, and she let me. She had a Nintendo, and it had the Duck Hunt Mario like multi cartridge
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with the gun. Yeah, that's the first thing I ever played.
Yeah.
That arguably
For
might
sure.
be mine, actually. Because I definitely think I played my first video games at whatever my daycare was, and they had an NES, a Super Nintendo, and a Nintendo 64. And it's just, I can't remember which one I played first. But if it
See,
was
that's my issue. I can't
it's
remember
the
if it
NES,
was.
it would have been Mario. It would have been the Mario Duck Hunt cartridge.
Yep,
Yeah, I can't
it was,
that
remember
thing was everywhere.
if I played Super Nintendo first or Sega Master System, because Super Master System ended up being something that we just found in like the shed.
Oh, you know what I just got a memory of?
Hmm.
So, you know what I found in an airport one time?
Airplane.
Well, hopefully. But only if only it had both wings, maybe everyone would still be here. But
Oh,
but
you kill
underneath my
somebody?
seat, I noticed underneath my seat when I was waiting in the airport, like I was probably 8 or 9. I noticed something underneath. I reached down, I grabbed it, and it was a bag of like 25 GBA games that someone had left.
Oh,
Did you take it?
No.
And I was
Of
like,
course you took it.
I do not. I'm like, this person's got to be so sad. But my finders keepers, they were all dog shit. Whoever had this bag
Karma,
had the
motherfucker.
shittiest taste in video games, and I'm like, how can you play these garbage games?
Either that-
They left him there.
Yeah, either that or it was some kind of time release disappointment bomb for a kid.
They were so worthless. They weren't even worth picking up off the floor.
Like that bag was dirty as fuck too. I remember, like it was like they had been in that bag or like that bag had been well used. Like
They were so bad. Someone like picked up the bag, opened it, saw what games they were, and set it back down
over and over.
What? So what?
This doesn't
what,
even the trash can doesn't even
What-
deserve this.
what kind of games are we talking?
Yeah, name one.
The fucking I know one of them was the Dragon Ball like shitty fighting game. I remember that one. That one was terrible. There was some garbage Star Wars game. Oh my god.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a bunch of licensed IPs, like every Simpsons game ever is in there.
I was like, why are these all garbage? There was no good ones.
Oh. Well, the reason I brought this up too is because the developers brought up that one of the inspirations on why they wanted to make Astrobot like as good as it was is because this might be the first game some kids will ever play because it's going to be like their first game console, and the
Nah.
regular Astrobot comes free with PlayStation. So that was like the inspiration. I just like didn't think of that. That was like kind of old mind boggling to me. It got me thinking of like, what was my first game that I ever played? Because back then they didn't come with free games, at least for me.
I'm gonna tell you that I wish I could have called them and told them, because like I picked up my kid from school the other day. Every kid is talking about Roblox. That's all they do. All the kids, all they want to do is talk about Roblox. It's crazy.
Roblox.
Fuck Minecraft. Yep, Roblox all day. I'm not even exaggerating. Multiple parties of kids as I'm taking my kid to the truck talking about Roblox as they walk by. Like, wow. So nah.
Man, that's
Astrobot is
scary.
not going to beat that.
That's
Yeah, it
scary,
is.
actually.
They're gonna weaponize
Yes
the
and
youth
no.
with Roblox.
Well,
Because like, if it wasn't that, it'd just be something else. I mean, that is just what a school does. You know, if it's not that, it's everybody's talking about Pokemon cards or something. You know, it's
Yeah. It's more just the
It's
news
something.
we've gotten recently about Roblox
That-
that makes
yes,
it.
agreed.
So yeah, it's not necessarily that they're all talking about Roblox itself, but yeah, that's what makes it kind of spooky. I just never realized like how many kids actually play it. It was not a thought for me.
I always have
Roblox should win Game of the Year.
I always have to remember just how giant the like big games, like the really, really big ones are, like Roblox, Fortnite. And just because I don't play them doesn't mean they aren't like the astronomically popular.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you mentioned Fortnite, and this reminded me of one of the things they showed. Fliz, are you excited for the Fortnite
Nope.
shooter? Like
Fortnite shooter.
they're making like a Counter-Strike Fortnite style game, or like Valorant, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because Fortnite has like 4 or 5 genres of games in it, right?
Yeah.
They have like the rhythm game, they have the racing, like they have their battle royale, they have their survival, they have the new shooter.
I think I've seen a couple clips of people playing. It's a first person.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen a couple of clips of people playing it and just dogging on it because apparently it's the latency or something with the connectivity to other players is absolutely abysmal. So, that's something they can fix in the future when everybody just plays Fortnite because it's got all the games in it. Fortnite TCG.
They're also doing Fortnite OG. Just
The
like
new
how
trend.
Overwatch did the OG.
I was never once even close to getting on the Fortnite train. It's just never been a thing. So I don't know. We'll probably cover it, but it won't be because we want to.
According to Multiverse Theory, there's a timeline where you're one of the most popular Twitch streamers and all you do is stream Fortnite.
Oh man.
How does
I
that?
hope that guy's okay. He's probably not.
He's got money. He's fine.
Knowing you, Fliz, probably not.
Probably not. There's infinite universes, and in every single one of them, I'm not okay.
He hasn't been busted yet. He hasn't had his big streamer drama yet.
The one constant, I'm always sad.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember that stupid movie where they with the multiverse theory with that one lady where the lady in it ended up being like the most miserable version of herself?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that
movie.
I was like, that's
Movie's
kind
so
of fucked
fun.
up. It is
It's
a fun movie.
just the shittiest version of everyone.
Uh,
That's our protagonist.
But besides the awards, well, I guess speaking of them, Faker also won another award to add to his wall,
Yeah,
along
Gamer
with
of the
League of
Year.
Legends. Dude, if they'd won the best adaptation, the league would have been, even bigger than it already is. But
League One game of the not game but MOBA. I'm sure it's like the third time. I haven't checked, but I'm sure it's won it multiple times as best esports game or something.
yep, we got another one to add to its huge collection.
That's kind of interesting that like best esports team was a thing as well in those awards. T1 won that.
Yep,
Yeah,
T1
well,
won that.
that's the only one.
Another one for Faker.
Yep.
I didn't realize that he's like co-owns T1 too. He like owns part of it, which is also kind of crazy. Your guys' RPG Metaphor won a bunch of different stuff. I was actually pretty hyped that it was winning so much. I was excited. I was surprised Elden Ring Erd Trait did not get anything.
Whoa.
Because
It's because of the controversy.
I think that was a kind of voice of the people kind of thing.
Dude.
And they even brought it up during the show.
Yeah, the
too.
Muppets.
Yeah. The Muppets are always talking shit on the show.
Just
brought
shit
it up.
talking Jeff the entire time. It was one of the best parts.
That's
what you guys
That's
should-
crazy.
Go ahead.
It's just crazy that like you have Snoop Dogg and Muppets, and that's like where we're at. Like, who is directing this?
I don't know, but
Well, Harrison Ford showed up too.
What are
yeah.
we doing here?
This
is
happens
the
every
oldest
year.
old people show.
This happens-
It's so bad.
They literally just get a bunch of celebrities that like.
No, I saw a clip that was the award show from like 2012 or something versus, or maybe 2002 even. I don't know how long it's been going on. And it was on Spike TV versus now. And it used to be like, we're here with Eminem and blah, blah, blah. And like it was going, it was like a whole, I mean, it was Spike TV, if y'all remember what that was.
Yeah.
It was
Vaguely, yeah.
man, balls. Like that was Spike TV. And that was the Game Awards. It was like, it was so much more hype though. It seemed like it was a lot more fun.
Yeah, it's much more formal now.
Yeah, this was, and then when I was watching, what I did see is there was like musical acts and there was way more music than there should have been, honest, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that's what anybody's there for.
Counterpoint.
And then they'd get to awards and just run through 4 of them.
Yep.
Which seems kind of, just do the awards.
What was your counterpoint going to be about the flute guy?
I was going to say counterpoint. The orchestra at the end is fucking phenomenal. I'm always excited.
Yeah, I love watching flute guy go fucking insane.
Well, they blend all of the
flute guy?
the game of the year nominee. Every 30 seconds, that man had a new instrument. He was going.
He was killing it.
At one point, he was dual wielding. He had a giant ass tuba in one hand and like a little mini flute in the other. It was insane.
Like, he played like 8 instruments in 3 minutes.
And he was going nuts the entire time.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
And then Blend,
Love him.
he popped off because I remember he got popular the year Xenoblade was up there for Game of the Year because of the flutes are super important in that game and the soundtrack. He was the part to cover it, and all of a sudden it cut to him for the first time, just absolutely jamming out on a flute, going ham, and he became a fantastic meme for that. He's shown up every year since. It's always a great time.
Dude brings the energy too, like every year since. Like he knows he's there, and he's ready to perform.
And the camera's always ready for it.
I love that means that there's people who tune into the video game awards every year just to see him and nothing else. Like, he is the highlight. That's great.
He's great. I mean, have you seen that man perform? I don't know if you were there for the orchestra.
Not for this one. I seen it one year.
Yeah, because
so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, apparently that guy's really big. He's really good friends with Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer,
I think. Yep, Hans Zimmer.
I could see it.
Because he apparently helped him out with the Dune soundtrack. Ugh.
Ooh.
So he's done some big things. But
was there anything missing from the awards you guys thought should be there that wasn't?
Bloodborne 2.
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't even talk about it. Was there anything announced?
Yeah, no, I was going to go through the announcements after the awards.
Yeah, there's some pretty big ones. They were cool.
Yep.
One thing before we get to the announcements, I wanted to bring up too, that I was really surprised by that they brought up was they actually brought up the layoffs that are happening in the industry right now.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they
you're
did.
talking about the Game Changer Award?
Yes, it's their first new award, and they gave out the first Game Changer Award to a person. They gave it to Amir Satvat. I could definitely be pronouncing that wrong. I probably am. But he was given the award because he had taken note of the amount of layoffs that have been happening in the games industry. And he'd actually done a ton of work free of charge. This is something that he was just doing, like supposedly just as like downtime. This is what he did. He would help developers that had lost their jobs, whether they're artists or actual game devs, and help them find new work and get them new jobs.
What a boss.
Yeah, he's made like an entire network now.
Wasn't it like...
Yeah.
He's
and this has become kind of a controversy now, which is kind of interesting. He's gotten a lot of hateful messages after the awards were over.
Wait, why?
Because it came out that he works at Tencent.
Oh.
And people are accusing him of being a, quote, industry plant. And this is coming from PCGamer.com. And that he's just kind of like supposedly a propped up folk hero, quote, but he's actually like just part of the problem. And this is just kind of like a whole publicity thing that they're doing. He's of course denied this, but that is something that's happening currently.
Are there people who are like, yeah, he helped me get a job?
Yes.
Or are these people not real?
Yes. No.
So then
people are saying on social media, such as Blue Sky, that they even said like specific jobs that they helped him get a union job in such and such year, and that he totally deserves this award. So people are definitely saying that. But it's something that's happening. I won't say whether it's true or false or whether it's he actually is an industry plant, but he seems to definitely be helping people out from the sounds of it.
If he actually is helping people, man, that sucks that they jump so quickly to try and tear it down.
Yeah, it does suck that people, when you hear something good, immediately jump to Like, this can't be true. There's no way. That is very, very sad. But
That's life though, man.
Yeah.
Nothing good is real. Not
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know if it ever was, but it definitely feels that way where nothing is free.
I think a positive, though, is the fact that, we are bringing more attention to the amount of layoffs that happen at game dev studios, because it's gotten pretty absurd.
Yeah,
Like,
even
All our news every week is game devs getting laid off.
I think
Every week.
Keeley himself talked about it, didn't he?
Sort of. The big one was Sven, the head dev of Baldur's Gate 3. When they were announcing Game of the Year,
Right.
he got to say something because he won last year's Game of the Year, and he used it to basically address like the gaming like community in its current state, for like a minute or two.
Yeah. So I'm glad they definitely brought that up. That's the second one that I wanted to kind of go over before we got to the actual announcements, which were there were some pretty interesting ones in here. Did you want to go ahead and start with some, Strider?
Yeah. They started off the show incredibly strong. Like once they during the pre-show, we had a few announcements. Big one is we finally saw some Slay the Spire 2 gameplay. Looks exactly like I would expect. Just a lot more like polish in terms of like each card has way more unique animation to it.
Let's go. I never actually played that, but I know.
Yep.
I know. So some of you guys definitely love that game a lot.
I have beaten the shit out of it on Steam and mobile. I love Slay the Spire.
Yep. And then, but once we got to the show proper, our first big announcement and the very first thing they showed off was the cinematic trailer for The Witcher 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I am so hyped. Oh, I want it so bad.
What
What's
was
crazy
it?
too,
I don't
people
know.
were mad that that Ciri is the lead protagonist.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
they
saw that
said it's
coming,
because they
though.
made her look ugly.
Well, she looks no different than she did. She looks exactly the same as she did in Witcher 3.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of wild, but whatever.
And no
I
one
don't
had an
really
issue
care.
back then. Why is it different now?
Yeah.
I saw
don't know.
a couple things where they were saying, and this could be nothing, but like she shouldn't be a protagonist because in the world of The Witcher, she wouldn't have those powers because of the way the world, I don't know exactly, but they weren't saying it because she's a woman, or at least a few people were. They were saying because it doesn't make sense narratively. But I personally couldn't care less. You
How
can
would
make
it
a
not,
story
though?
about
Because
whoever.
they
I
explained
didn't
her
play
whole
any of the
deal
games.
within 3. Did they not?
well, it's more that from what I understand from how The Witcher 3 ends, like her state in the narrative at the end of 3. So people were
Okay.
complaining that might cause problems.
Yeah, I mean, we got to
Yeah.
wait till the game comes out because we don't know like how we
There's
got
no
this.
gameplay. This was just the cinematic trailer because
Yeah.
it's just entered full production, right? Like very recently.
It has, yeah. I also saw people complain, like one that they made her ugly, but also that she shouldn't be the main character because Geralt is supposed to be, which apparently, and I've never read the books, but apparently that's wrong. Apparently in the books, it's actually Ciri is typically the main character in it.
Yeah, when she was
Not
introduced, it
him.
became a lot more focused on her.
Yeah. So that is also incorrect. But he's been the protagonist for the last 3 games, so I could see,
Yeah,
that's
but-
probably the perspective.
But the
He's getting
Witcher
old at this
fan,
point.
but the Witcher fans didn't play the first 2 games.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always 3. I even reinstalled 3. I never realized that they added freaking ray tracing to that game. It looks
Oh yeah,
good.
the game or the next gen update, basically, when
Yep.
they updated the PC version to be like the updated re-releases for consoles.
Yeah, they did a great job. And that, along with Cyberpunk 2077, dude, CD Projekt Red has become like my favorite game companies for a while now. Oh my gosh! So I'm excited for The Witcher 4. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm ready.
Cautiously optimistic, and I'm definitely not buying it day one.
Me either. I'm going to wait 6 months.
Because that thing is going to be a fucking dumpster fire. I almost guarantee it because
Yeah, definitely. Just give them some time after releases. They'll polish it up just like they did Cyberpunk, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, Cyberpunk just got a new major update too.
They did, yeah.
2.2.
They said they were done a while ago too, and they just can't help
The
themselves.
amount of times I've heard game / studios go, "It's the last update," and then it's up the final update, part 8.
Dude, I think the biggest the biggest culprit, I guess you could say, of that is fucking the Terraria dev team.
It's Terraria and Chucklefish, the guy who's behind Stardew Valley. Like
There's
those
this
two.
is the last one for real, guys, and they come back like 2 months later, like, here's another one.
Yeah, but besides Witcher 4, the other one that I was really interested in too was Intergalactic.
Yes,
Which
that looks
is,
really cool.
Yeah, this is a game by Naughty Dog. So this is the developers of Crash, and it's I love the style of it. It has this sci-fi, but like a retro sci-fi style, where it's kind of like what you thought the future was or was going to be back in like the PlayStation 1 era. Like they all still use like CCTVs, but they're on a spaceship. And the music is from like an old like CD like CD disc that it plays out of instead of a like a vinyl record.
It's like retro future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, oh dude, you have to see it.
Also,
It's actually so good.
One of the funny things was like the lady in the trailer, her ship says Porsche on the back.
Yeah, it's just Porsche on the back. Oh man. It looks like it has a lot of style to it. Unfortunately, there's not really too much gameplay, but it looks like it's going to be heavy, like a definitely combat adventure game where you play as a bounty hunter is what it seems like. So I'm ready to get some more news on it, but it's definitely one I'm gonna be focusing on.
Yeah, no, they've said that big inspirations are 80s anime and Akira, where some of the big inspirations behind.
Okay, yeah, that's
down.
pretty solid. Yeah.
Behind the style for
down.
Intergalactic. But alongside those, there are some other big announcements throughout the show. One of them being the new game from the people behind It Takes Two, Split Fiction.
That looks neat. Like, that looks interesting, like pretty interesting.
I do not remember if we ended up showing you anything on it, Fliz. I think we did, right?
I saw the trailer.
Yep. But babe,
I don't know. Like, okay, It Takes Two was fine, and me and Kyler here actually played it through on stream, all the way through as a married couple should.
That's right.
And I liked parts of it. I thought it was really innovative. I preferred No Way Out, honestly, and that's not the same. Is it the same developer?
It is.
Probably
It is.
not.
Yep.
Yeah, same.
It is. Okay. So, and is I think it's called No Way Out, the prison one.
Yeah. Yep. That's the one.
But I think that one I enjoyed more because it was jank as hell in some points, and it led to a lot more funny stuff happening that made me really love that game. And the It Takes Two played really well, and it had some really good moments in it, like the stuffed elephant, I think.
Yeah.
And
yep.
like, the sacrifice or murder of it and all that. Like it was good. And this one looks good too. I don't really have excitement for it though, but that's just me.
I think one thing that kind of contributes to is definitely like a kind of sort of fatigue of this is just the game. Like it's kind of the same game over and over again, which can definitely get to you.
It definitely looks like it has the same. Here's a co-op game that's really just a bunch of mini games, but it's also got a story and it's well done, so it's going to be good. But I'm not seeing anything that me personally, I'm like, and I've seen a lot of hype about this. Like people are really excited for this. I'm good though. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah, but you're not going to stop playing League, Marvel, or Guilty Gear.
It's yeah, I just have a different taste, I guess. Because I played, like I said, I played No Way Out, and I played that, and they're fine. They're just a little slow for me.
I think the thing about these games too is that I've noticed from playing It Takes Two is the game is more about the story than the actual gameplay. The gameplay itself is more of just like a vehicle to tell the story
Yeah.
that it's trying to do. So that's one thing that you have to kind of clue in on.
That's probably what turns me off of it, honestly.
Yeah.
I Marvel, I'm not reading any of that lore.
The other thing too, the other thing too is I remember when we played It Takes Two. It's kind of awkward to be playing the game with your buddy when
It's awkward to play the game with anybody. I thought about going to my wife and playing that. And I said, fuck that. This is going to lead to some serious conversations that I don't want to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it's about like, you know, a married couple having problems and just, you know, they're fighting about stuff, like real problems, like, oh shit, that's kind of like, yeah. And you're trying to over here fight off the ants with your rocket launcher that shoots out honey goo.
There were a couple of moments where we were like giggling and laughing about dumb shit, and then there'd be just 20 minutes of silence while we watched this divorce almost happen. And we're like, all right, guess we're bumblebees now.
Which
What do you want to do?
Which one of you wanted to play that?
I did.
Yeah, I think so. I don't.
Yeah,
So
wanted to
you
stream it. It
wanted to
was
bring
brand
Lionel
new.
through that, huh?
I didn't know what it
we didn't
was.
know
I
it
just
was
saw
about
co-op.
that.
Yeah,
That's
no
the thing.
idea.
Like it just looks
I-
like, oh, it's a fun little co-op game. Let's play it. Oh.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
had
Liz's
no
fault.
idea it was going to be so story heavy. I genuinely thought it was just going to be like crazy, go through. I don't know. The
How many-
story was hard.
How many divorces do you think that game caused?
At least one.
At least one. Yeah, it is not zero. I guarantee it.
I just imagine there was like some poor guy struggling there with his marriage or his relationship, and it's like, you know what? I really need something to help us like bond
Oh,
over and
no.
kind of get together. Oh, there's this new co-op game. We used to love playing video games. Let's get this. And let me play
Here's
with it and with her, and hopefully, you know, things will kind of work themselves out as we play. Never mind. I guess I'm getting a studio apartment.
Yeah, I imagine they would only get like halfway through it to like the really tumultuous stuff, and then they would just stop playing. Like they wouldn't get to the ending that solves all the problems. They would just get half to 3/4 through it, and then just hate each other and be like, "Yeah, this game is me. I hate these people."
I think
We're done.
I wonder if like if you went through the like story achievements, if it like when that like first big moment of like the fights happens, I wonder what the percentage of people that drop it there are.
That's
it's
we should
probably
look at
pretty
that.
high.
We should try to
Oh,
find
I'm
that. That'd be great.
curious.
Just fucking plummets.
No, I think it's going to be a good game, though. It's definitely like there should definitely be more like couch co-op games like this, and they always usually deliver really well when it comes to these types of games. So I'm probably not going to play it because it's not something that I play, but I think it's going to be a good game. So if it's something that you are interested in, definitely follow it and wait for it to come out because it's probably going to be really good.
Yeah, I know I said I didn't want to play it, but that's just me. Like
Yeah.
it really does look pretty cool. If I hadn't played It Takes Two, I'd be on board for this. If you told me this was the same guy who made No Way Out and then they made this and not It Takes Two, I'd be hyped for this.
It Takes Two took such an emotional toll on you.
Oh, dude, no, it really feels like I dodged a bullet by not playing that with my, like, I really feel like that could have been a horrible time.
Definitely more than 0 divorces were caused by that game.
I don't play games for that kind of seriousness, man. That's why I don't play Life is Strange, and I don't want to ever play a game like It Takes Two again. I want to play a game.
We only play games that piss us off.
Want to escape
Yeah,
the
I'm not
problems,
gonna
damn
get
it.
suppressed.
Yeah, it's an escape for fun, not therapy. I'm good.
Fun is in heavy quotations sometimes.
Oh, man.
I don't know. With Marvel, I've been having real fun.
had a lot of
I've been
fun with
really
Marvel.
like. You know how many TikToks I've seen of how it feels going back to Overwatch after playing Marvel Rivals and just people sitting there sad and dead faced.
I played a game of League last night and I was like, genuinely, I was devoid of all happiness after it. I was like, that sucked.
That's
you know,
League.
the sheen will wear off of Marvel Rivals.
I was just like, I just want to go back to Marvel. I want to have fun. League was just depressing.
Low commitment game.
low commitment. And then, so anything else come out?
So Capcom has announced a few new things. They're bringing back Onimusha.
Yeah.
And then
Which one is Onimusha? I don't remember.
It's
what
the
that
demon
is.
of demon hunting.
Demon
Demon
Slayer.
hunters are like a guard.
What'd you say, Sid?
I'm trying. I'm trying to think of describe it. Like, are they demon
I
hunters?
remember.
Or are they like a demon guard? I don't remember. Their job is to
No,
kill
it's
demons, but
It's like Devil May Cry. It's that kind of game minus the combos and flashiness. It's like if it took itself seriously and put itself in feudal Japan.
I remember seeing that game, but I've never played it. But yeah, I know what
It's-
you're talking about now. Okay.
I played the first 3 of them on PS2. I actually really liked one of them. I didn't like so much because you played multiple characters. I just wanted to be the guy. But they're all really like they're Capcom games. Like you feel that they're good. I like them.
Yep. And then the big announcement that they had at the end of the show was that they announced the Okami sequel, which
Oh
is
my
kind of
gosh.
is actually completely insane with what it took to get that.
dude, can I just say, every time we like a trailer started, I just blurt out I call it now. It's this, and it was pretty spot on for most of those game announcements.
I thought you like. I remember you said that like, oh my god, it's Okami, and I was like, huh, wouldn't that be swell? And then I was like, oh shit.
Like, the only thing we saw was
Because I saw the ink paintings. I'm like, I know what this is. I can't think of the name. And you said Okami, and I'm like, yep, that's what it is. It's Okami.
I saw ink paintings and I saw a paw print, and I was like, Okami. It was
Yeah, no, that's
Did you guys all play this? I never played it.
I
Okami, yeah.
did.
Yes.
Okami was like a very classic adventure game. It's honestly a lot of fun. You could honestly go back to it and it would still hold up really well. It's definitely revered as,
it
as
is
one of
a lot of
the-
people hold that game in like
Yeah.
high regards for good reason.
as one of the best action adventure RPGs like ever made.
And the art style is very, very unique because it's basically
Mhm.
like a water painting style, which I cannot wait to see what they can do nowadays with it after 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it'll be pretty wild.
Because the big thing about this is the dev responsible for Okami and the studio were both gone. Clover shut down in like 2007, 2006. And Hideaki Kamiya had gone to Platinum Games to work on stuff there. But Platinum Games is currently exploding, like because they are falling apart right now.
That's not good.
Because the executives there keep wanting to chase like live service games. Because
Platinum's like one of my favorite devs. I don't want them to fucking have troubles.
yeah, because Platinum Games was originally made of a bunch of ex devs from Clover's, which were responsible for the original Okami, Beautiful Joe, and God Hand. Those were the 3 game series that they worked on.
Platinum has put out some of my favorite like games in like recent years, and I really don't want them
In
to have like a
recent
rough
years?
time. Well, recent years, like I like a lot of their recent games, not maybe recent years, but like they put out a lot of games I highly enjoy.
Their recent games have been terrible, and that's part of the reason why they're struggling so much.
Well, sorry, okay, I
What?
wasn't specific enough.
You said you got shit taste.
Dude, like their most recent
They've
game
released
was
a lot of games I enjoy. There you go. That's the better fucking thing I'll say. Oh my god.
It's like, dude, they released Babylon's Fall and the entire studio fucking exploded.
I
from
forgot they
that.
made that one. I didn't play it.
And the Bayonetta 3 was not the most well received. It was fine, but it was
Didn't play it either.
Well, I think that was the one where they didn't pay the voice
Yeah,
actors
that whole
enough, right?
situation.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's like those were their most recent games. That's what
I
I'm saying. It was their
rephrased my
most
statement.
I know. That's why I specified the most recent games were probably not the ones you were talking about.
My most recent games were different because I forgot Bayonetta
But
3
they're
and
not-
the other one existed.
You said their most recent games, not yours.
Didn't he just leave too, Hideki?
He just he had just
That was
left.
like a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
It was it just a couple years ago? I think he's been there for a while. Or he was there for a while.
No, didn't he just left Platinum Games like a couple of years ago, I thought. Because I remember that happening. Because he was the one who directed or did he Yeah, I think he was a director for Devil May Cry and Resident Evil.
He left Platinum in 2023.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did.
so
So
last
he
year.
even sooner than I thought. And they already just threw him on Okami. God damn,
Like
works
it's-
fast.
Yeah, fucking. Oh my god, it's so crazy. They had to revive that studio and get him back for that. It's crazy.
Yeah, because
That's actually wild. They got that much work done in like
Yeah.
a year.
he
like-
went to he made his own independent company or studio, Clovers Inc. or just Clovers.
Yeah, because
For
they.
perspective, like they've been working on the new Elder Scrolls for 5 years, and they only just started like a year ago.
That sounds about right. But
Oh man. Okay.
Because he's created the new studio. They said that they wanted it to be a smaller studio with like up to, they have, I think, 20 something people right now, and they want to get up to about 70. And they want it to be like relatively free from investors, where like they pursue basically their creative interests, is how they want to do it, where like with smaller size games, from what I understand. And that Capcom has said that they are interested in reviving other dormant IPs like Okami and Onimusha. So we might get that Dino Crisis, a new Dino Crisis at some point.
Dude, we might get Monster Ranchers.
Dude, fucking monster.
You can't
Yeah.
do Monster Rancher. We
I know.
don't have the same thing.
Now you just do files now instead.
Yeah, just stick a random file in there and see what it says.
You couldn't cheat the C. I mean, you could use burn CDs and they would work, but like
So you
that
could.
was so much more work than just like downloading a couple of files. You'd have to do something different, like other people's credit cards.
But not your own.
Commit fraud, yeah.
You scan your credit card to try doing it. Goes, this is your credit card. How do you know this video game?
Wait, you got to commit fraud to summon more monsters. So you get.
They could do that actually and just do it and like combine it like Monster Rancher NFT. Like that would be a use for NFTs, right? Yes.
Dude, no.
Your
Yes.
desperation for new Monster Rancher game is getting you to NFT territory.
I'm not desperate. I just thought it was a super cool idea when I was 11.
NFTs?
No, Monster Rancher.
I just thought Fliz was way ahead of the curve. He had a fucking
Oh, I wish.
the
You came up
profit.
I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I thought about that when I was 11.
You
Don't
thought
worry
about it, but you didn't make it.
Ooh,
Missed
yeah, I
opportunity.
guess.
He had the thought, nothing will come of that. Little
Quick,
did he
file a
know.
patent and try to prove you've come up before.
I don't want to talk about my missed opportunities. I missed out on buying $100 in Bitcoin back like before Diablo 3 came out. Like I fucked up.
Yeah, but you probably wouldn't have held it.
I wouldn't have. I didn't buy it because I didn't understand it. I didn't know what it was.
I mean,
I'm
even
like,
if you
this is
did.
money that's not money. I don't get it. I'm keeping my money.
I mean, even if you did, I don't think you would have held it until Bitcoin like exploded.
No, I would have lost a wallet or two.
Oh,
I can't hold on to anything.
Just log into a digital account. Your wallet has been lost. This was a 0.1% chance. Who programmed RNG into this shit?
It's okay, you still have your Dogecoin.
Nope.
Nope,
you
No,
sold that?
I sold it. Now that it's skyrocketing, it's gone. Same with Nvidia. I sold those a long time ago, and I had them when they were like pretty low still. I kind of bombed on all my ideas. I gave up too
All
early, I
your
guess.
investments.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, no diamond hands for me.
No diamond hands.
Only
Just hold on
copper.
to it. In 1,000 years, they'll be worth so much.
And then a few quick things is we're getting a new Virtua Fighter. They showed off like very little gameplay in a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, like, bringing Virtua Fighter back.
And then we also got the Mecha Break is releasing in spring of next year.
I'm excited to try that. I regret not playing it now that I realize that it's not just a robot fight.
I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to play it, but I wanted to.
Hey, I asked you if you wanted to play, and you went, not tonight.
Yeah.
I was going to play
Yeah.
something else.
I wasn't feeling good.
Like I thought it was like a totally different style of game.
I know
and was
you
like,
did.
Yeah,
But in retrospect, I probably should have explained it better.
that's fine.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was like Armored Core, and
Yeah,
it's not really.
that's what I thought it was.
And initially, I was like, I didn't even beat the other Armored Core. I'm not going to play another Armored Core.
I'm like, it's not Armored
And
Core.
then you're right, and I tried it, and it is.
I want Mecha
I'm ready.
Break.
I'm ready for that and Monster Hunter, and Rivals will just go in the trash, I guess.
Hey,
No.
we'll probably bounce between Mecha Break and Rivals if Rivals doesn't explode in the next 3
I'm
months.
still having fun with Marvel, man.
And then,
I-
what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say some of the announcements that I'm hyped for. Like just 3. Like I thought that Dispatch game was cool. Like the superhero one.
I know Fliz wasn't a fan of that at all.
No,
I still think
just
it
make a
looked
TV
interesting.
show. What's the point?
You don't want to send out the superheroes and watch them get their
No,
I know it
Because
might
the
not be
idea-
interactive, man.
no.
I mean, you sit there and watch a TV picking your ass.
No, it's the same thing. It's the same. This is just me personally. Like, okay, Life is Strange is like a detective, it's a point and click adventure to me. Story based thing, and the story's kind of low key. In this game, you're paying dispatcher for superheroes, so the superheroes are going to do all the stuff you would expect that would be fun in a video game, and you're going to do paperwork for them. And I'm sure the story's great, and it totally makes up, and like that's the whole. I get it. That's the point of it, to be like, not everybody's a superhero in a superhero world, and whatever. That's fine, but I'm not going to
But
play.
you are a
that probably.
superhero.
Yeah,
Are
the
you?
character,
Yes.
the character's a superhero.
In the
He's
trailer,
just-
you-
yeah.
No,
That's-
they said he's the one who doesn't even have superpowers.
No,
He
Yeah,
was,
he's
he's
like
no,
the
he was
Iron
more of a
Man.
Tony Stark type. He's he's Mecha Man.
And
His
what
suit
is
got destroyed.
if Tony Stark doesn't have a suit or millions of dollars?
then he's not
Is
Tony
he a
fucking
superhero?
Stark.
Yeah, what do you
Well, You guys just
It's like
compared him
it's
to
like
Tony
playing
Stark.
saying if Superman didn't have his superpowers, he's not a superhero.
He's
like
mad.
no
He's just-
shit.
yeah, he's just
he's
man.
just mad. He's a cat in a
Yeah,
man
so and that's-
costume.
I'm gonna have to edit this. This doesn't even make sense for anybody else.
Just some stupid shit during Marvel.
I don't know. It seems interesting. It looks more like a visual novel than an actual video game.
I'm just kind of
to be
interested to see what
honest
it's going to
with you.
end up being like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it's more a story, and then again, it's just the dispatch aspects are kind of the vehicle to keep your interest between the dialogue.
You're correct, and it's gonna be good. It really is. I'm not even shit talking it. It's just I'm just in a mood this week. It's been a long week. All right.
I was just gonna say the other two. The other two personally. Borderlands 4, of course, and then Outer Worlds 2. I'm very excited for both of those.
I already heard people were getting on the anti-woke train for Borderlands.
Man, there's people on
Just
Annual
getting
Train for
prepared.
everything nowadays.
I missed that trailer actually. So what did it show? Because
Black people.
I mean,
People
it
on the
did.
internet don't like that.
okay.
It included.
I'm telling you how it
That's
is.
what's weird though. Is like there's like the characters in Borderlands have always been like culturally diverse. I don't know why it's a problem now. Like
I don't think it is. I think it's just people being people and just bitching.
I think there's like this influx. I please prove me wrong. Show me receipts. Show me threads anywhere. I just want to see them and be proven wrong. Like I keep seeing all these content creators saying like, oh, they're saying anti-woke this and and like, where are these people that are actually saying that stuff? I see a ton of people saying you're a moron for saying this, but rarely do I see the actual subject of
like,
the discourse.
like people being like this has woke stuff in it. This game is bullshit type situation.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Like one that comes off the top of my head is the person losing his fucking mind on Starfield because of the pronoun selection.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But okay,
That's
so
a
yeah,
weird
there's
thing.
one.
Like that's one off the top of my head.
Yeah,
like,
that's
if
the
you-
one that I
if-
was thinking of.
If you check Steam forums, you will see this game is woke bullshit all over the place in every game ever.
do
like, it's
not
all
go into your
over-
Steam discussions. That is all you will see. They are like obsessed with woke. It is gross to read through.
Okay, so I'm just looking in the wrong place then. All right, well maybe we'll have to find some off the recording just so you
Like-
can show me
like,
this
dude,
stuff. 'cause I
Steam
wanna see it.
discussions hate diversity. They hate any kind of awareness, like even if it's not woke stuff. Like It is insane.
I have to believe that is a special kind of person who actually made it that far into Steam. You know, like I've never, we talked about it before. Neither me nor Lyle, I still haven't gone there. I don't know what's over there.
Same. I just don't care enough.
The only reason I stumble in there is because every so often it's like, is it bad for this one too? And then you look and it's like, wow, yeah, they really have their hands in everything.
It's such a small percentage of people because if you like you said,
weird.
if everybody's playing Call of Duty and Fortnite, 90+% of gamers, that's what they're playing. Then the rest of the 10% are playing other things. Then a much smaller, 0.000 something percent actually goes through Steam to find these discussion forums. Like these are the loudest minorities saying this shit.
Yeah. That's really what it is. Most people just don't really care about it.
Yeah, it's just so strange, man. You go in and it's just like there's a women in my game, and it's like, okay, yeah, and it's like half the population of the planet, dude. What's your problem?
Like literally just go into any game on Steam, hit the discussions, type in woke, and you'll find stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like this person on Marvel Rivals is telling you to bury the fucking game out in the desert with the ET cartridges.
Yeah, it makes no sense because there's for years there have been like so many female characters that have been like exalted, and it's just now it's all of a sudden considered woke to even have like female characters or characters of color. Like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was about to say it's woke to have any kind of diversity from like generic.
Yeah,
like
it's
crazy.
Nothing's really changed too much, and there are games that are quote woke, but they're designed to kind of be that way, and the stories that they tell are more related to that and like the struggles that some people have. So if it's not really your game anyways, so that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's not like, let's say, like Overwatch where they just shoehorn in random facts that nobody cares about. It's like, why'd you even point this out?
Even that they don't really do, because like shoehorning it in is something that's just like what is there? There's soldiers, I think. Yeah, soldiers gay, right?
Yep,
I think is one.
Tracer,
you'll never know that if you play the game.
Yeah. That's just what I think. That's what I mean. Like, just like them being like, "Oh yeah, this," and it's like, well, I guess that's cool, but like, no one really.
And do you know? Have you looked into like how we know that? By the way,
it's just like a random background mention, right? And like a story, like a soldier story. Yeah,
yeah. He just brought it up one time, and it wasn't even the focus of the conversation. That small detail, and people just exploded it. And made it like shoehorning in that soldier's gay. Like, no, he just brought it up as like a side note when he's talking about his past. And that was it. So it's just people just balloon these things and think that companies are just like trying to force them in, when really most of the time it's just writers trying to create their characters and just write their characters really like as best as they can.
I'll always remember that. I don't.
Yeah.
Did we ever? I think we had a discussion before. Like, was that thing real or not? The whole like character creation diversity chart Overwatch had?
Yes. That was real. That was a real tool.
It's hard with that in the background of your mind. Like,
yeah. And even that was created by the team that was doing Candy Crush. Actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they were the ones that had made that tool because they wanted to use it as like a here, look at this tool that we have. No, it's more just like a development, like they could show that they have it more than anything else. As far as I know, apparently they don't use it, but God only knows whether they do or not.
I'm pretty sure they do have on your portfolio. Look what we made.
Yeah, this was weird. They like showed it off. But anyway, back to the Game Awards. They also showed off the Outer Worlds 2 trailer.
Yes.
And I was kind of surprised that they're already making a second one.
I really enjoyed that game, the first one.
When did Outer Worlds come out?
A while recently, back now. Right?
Was it?
Let me double check because I cannot.
2019.
Yeah.
Oh, so wow. It has been a while.
It's been 5 years. 6 years by the time it comes out.
Yeah, Outer Worlds was really good. So hopefully the 2 is going to be just as well. And
I'm super excited because I read like there was a quote somewhere saying like they expect it to be like 2 times as big. And like
5 times the graphic fidelity.
well, it's just like it seems like they're going like bigger with everything that already made the first game fun, and I'm just like, hell yeah. Because like I wanted more of the first one.
Yeah, and there were some other like kind of weird announcements too. Like there's like a new Pac-Man game coming out that looks
my
very
God.
strange.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
so-
based on the
secret level.
secret level episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, that's based on the secret level episode.
It's a Metroidvania.
It's definitely
Shadow
interesting.
Maze or something like that, right?
Shadow
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Shadow Labyrinth.
Shadow Labyrinth, yep. So that's definitely something. And also the Shadow of the Colossus devs are making a new game now too.
What
Yeah,
was
the
it?
robot thing. There was no name. It's an unnamed project still.
Project Century? No, that's the other one. What was
It's
this one?
literally Project Robot. is what
Project
they
Robot?
called it.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah, that's the code name for it. But
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Project Century was the Yakuza devs one, right? That they showed off.
yeah, that
It was
looks cool too.
Like 1950s, 1920s Japan.
Yeah, I think the one that we're all of us are really looking forward to is the new Elden Ring spinoff that they're doing.
The standalone
But
spin-off.
Yeah, but before we get to that, was there anything that you guys like wanted to hear more about or thought was missing from the trailers?
Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2?
Would you even play it?
Yes. I played a lot of the first one.
Did you beat it?
Never actually beat it, no, but I kept replaying other parts. Like I enjoyed that game a lot. I kept trying different builds to see what I really wanted to.
Did
focus
you
on.
stop playing it because you got bored and restarted it, or did you stop playing it because you couldn't get any further?
No, I legitimately I kept trying out different builds. I'm not kidding.
You got bored and kept restarting it. Okay.
I wanted to like, I don't know, man. I liked all the weapons, but it's like I want to find the one that I felt like because like in Elden Ring, I found the weapon I like to use the most. I was trying to find the one that I felt like the most in Bloodborne, even though I enjoyed all of them. I wanted to go for that wheel.
Oh God, the wheel.
I wanted to make a wheel build, but it takes a while to get in. It takes a while to get that going.
All right, so Bloodborne 2. For me, it was no more news on Vampire the Masquerade 2.
Oh my dude, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I wonder what's going on with that.
Oh man, I hope
Isn't-
that game
is it on
comes out
hiatus
and it's
right now?
good. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. I'm gonna be honest. It has had so many problems, and there was no trailer for it. I was really hoping because they've been like kind of talking about some progress they're making. I was like, oh, maybe they'll drop a trailer at the Game Awards, but no, there's nothing. What
Is
about?
that the
Go ahead.
is that the one that's like Naraka Blade Point, or is that something else?
No, Vampire the Masquerade. So that, if you're talking about the like a battle royale style, there was one set in the Masquerade world, I think.
Yeah,
but,
there was.
the
but they did as
Masquerade-
like a teaser game.
Yeah, the Masquerade 2 is supposed to be like it basically it's like an RPG.
Oh,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a continuation of the original Vampire the Masquerade game, which is based off of a tabletop game. But the game Bloodlines, which is I forget when it came out.
It was it's been a while.
It has been a while. I remember playing it a long time ago. It was like early 2000s.
Where's the? No,
Let's
this is the
find-
board game. I'm trying to find the game.
The board game.
But either way, what I liked about it is that there wasn't really many games that were similar to it. It was an RPG game that the masquerade part is definitely true. You have to hide the fact that you are a vampire and you are like in like LA in the city.
Especially
And-
if you're a specific type.
Yeah, you could choose like the type of vampire you were, and one of them is like, oh, you're actually just Nosferatu. Like if anyone sees you, like it's game over.
Yeah, you have to travel through the sewers because the masquerade immediately gets broken if they see your ugly ass.
Yeah, it was such a great game because there's so many different ways to play, and it's really wild time. So 2 is something that I've been really wanting, like having that style of game again, for especially in a vampire game because I feel like there's never enough vampire games, and yeah, it's just been in a hiatus forever and ever.
2004 was when the first
Oh.
game came out.
Yeah, but is there anything you were looking forward to, Fliz, that didn't show up?
nope.
Fair enough. All right.
I don't really know. Like, I didn't have any expectations, so I wasn't let down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the monster basically, you'd have to show me a Dino Crisis remake for me to really give a shit. Honestly, like that is probably one of the only. But then I'd be like hesitant on it too. I'm like, they're gonna fuck this up somehow, unless it was like brought to you by the people who remade Resident Evil 2, Dino Crisis again. Then I'd be super high. I'll wait for that. We'll say that Dino Crisis by the Resident Evil 2 remake devs. That didn't show up, and I'm sad about it.
There you go. We found it. It's Dino Crisis. Oh, I mean, we might get it. Who knows? Who knows?
It's just something I'd like. I just have such fond memories. The game's probably shit, but I really I enjoyed it when I was younger.
Well, I heard that a fan was trying to remake the game. I heard that was the thing.
Dino Crisis?
Someone was doing. Yeah. Someone was trying to like remake the original title. I think it is. It was on. I think it was on Itch.
Itch.
I don't know like how far along it is. Yeah. So might have to take a look at that. What about you, Strider? Was there anything you're looking forward to that you didn't get to see?
I know we have a new Ace Combat. Hasn't been in development for a while, supposedly.
Ooh.
So I was hoping that we might see that. I was hoping for just something from From Software, whether it was Armored Core or the Souls-like thing, and we did get one.
Oh,
I didn't know if they were going for the Armored Core 6 spinoff or what. But we ended up getting the Elden Ring spinoff.
Night Rain?
Yeah, so let's talk about it. I'll let you go because this is like your favorite series.
Yeah, so they are doing a spinoff that is a 3-player co-op or solo roguelike Souls game that is using Elden Ring as a base with a bunch of their assets from the previous games. Like, it seems like a greatest hits type thing. Like, they've included, there's a boss from Demon's Souls 1 we can see. We've got the Firekeepers from 3, or at least something resembling it. We've got the Nameless King from 3. You've got character classes that are referencing some of their other games too. There's someone, and that's a whole thing. There's character classes now. So there's 8 classes. We've seen, I think, and have details on 7 of them.
Oh.
But the 8th is hidden, I believe. We haven't seen anything on the 8th. But
Eighth
one of them
is the developer.
One of them is
the mimic.
One of them is
self-insert.
One of them is.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to get you to go.
You know, I love the irony of you just saying self-insert as you interrupt him.
Yeah.
One of them is based on a Bloodborne hunter. They, instead of a roll, they have the quick step, from what I understand, and another one has the Sekiro, like the flex system built in.
So is this supposed to be like? Do we know how it's supposed to be structured? Is it just like how is this supposed to work?
So, the base of the map is going to be basically a remixed Limgrave. Is the start of it. And then so you pick your character, you have your hub world where you can talk to NPCs and progress each of the 8 character stories. And they have their own thing. And you get basically, because there's permanent upgrades that you will get throughout runs, similar to the Bloodstones from Bloodborne, that will allow you to customize your build ahead of time. You can buy different skins and stuff from the currency you earn in game. To customize your character. And then once everything's ready, once you've got everyone together, it starts with, it's a 3-day system. So you drop in somewhere at the start of the map, and the map will slowly close in by the blue fire that we saw on the screen on the trailer.
Like a battle royale zone?
Kind of. It's because it's zoning into one location. But you basically you have approximately 15 minutes to go around and collect loot, new weapons, armor, rings, and talismans, and so forth, and get souls to power up. And then at the end of on the first night, you will fight a boss. On success, you will go on to the second day, and the process repeats. If you beat the second night's boss, you will go on to the final boss of the run, which is the Night Lord.
Mm.
And then if you can beat the Night Lord, it's a successful run. Each run is supposed to take approximately 40 minutes. They've said that there's going to be
40
8
minutes?
final bosses that can be the Night Lord. I would not be surprised if we have one true final boss after all this. But there's also progressing characters' storylines and everything will cause the map to change, to have new generation pop up, because the map is like procedurally generated. And like they've said that even like the locations can completely change. Like sometimes volcanoes will spot or meteors will impact and shift the
geez.
landscape. There's color coded rarities from what I understand. In terms of like when you like things will have different rarities, like common, uncommon, and so forth.
I like that. I like loot systems though. So.
And weapons will have different passives they can come with, and these will stay. They said they stay active while they're in your hotbar, like where you have them cycled off. So those parts to help build, basically a build per run.
So, question: like, are there weapons specific to each class, or can anybody use any class use any?
It's your class determines. Your class determines has two things. There's some things. You get an ability for each class, and an ultimate. Like, for example, the Duchess, is passive is that instead of rolling, she has the Bloodborne step.
Okay.
And then I know for a different character, the bird person's ultimate is they basically jump in the air twice, like really high up, and then slam down, granting it deals a bunch of damage in an area around and grants your team damage reduction. So there's some of the things like that. But your class determines those abilities, what you start with. But anything you find, from what I understand, as long as you have the stat requirements, assuming it's like that, you can keep use whatever you find.
Okay.
Because there's a simplified leveling system where it's basically just you level up once you hit certain rune values. And then spend them. Death will cause you to lose levels and runes. You can get them back though. Similar bloodstain system. No messages. There's ghosts. So you can still see other players playing around.
It's more complicated than I assumed it was going to be, looking at the trailer. Yeah, that's a lot.
Because that's a lot of details that we've gotten from people that have like 6 or 7 hours hands on right now. Because the game is coming out somewhere between April and September is the current plan of next year.
Oh dang!
I'm sad that it's 3-player.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I wonder how it's going to play, because honestly, that's a lot different than I was envisioning. I kind of expected it to be more simple, but it's starting to sound like a completely new game instead of more of a haha for fun game that I thought it was going to be. To be honest, that's cool though. It's definitely a lot different. I wonder how it's gonna churn out. It's definitely a mix of a bunch of different genres of stuff.
Because it's not headed by Miyazaki. He's not the one.
Oh, yeah.
It's being directed by the Dark Souls 1 level designer and the Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne combat director. I forget his name. But the other thing is that this game is going to be priced at $40, roughly. It's going to be a similar price point to Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Huh.
It's not going to be a full price game.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to try it out, because I do love the games, and it sounds like it's going to be all combat, which I like. So yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. A lot of
speculation is that like this is them trying to test a new network system, like see if they improve their netcode for their next game.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it seems like there's a lot of testing going on in this one.
I swear,
hope
the multiplayer in Souls games has always felt like so awkward and hard to use. Is that just me?
I can see both sides of this argument.
Yeah, there's
Like
quite
it
a
feels
few
like they
steps
make
you gotta
it
go
so
through.
complicated. I
But
don't know.
In a funky way, it's also seamless, I guess.
Well, it's seamless.
Nice, strong.
in the-
Aesthetically, it's nice.
Because because
Yeah.
it's seamless in the fact that I'm not like it's just bat and continue in terms of once you, but it's when you're playing that specifically when you're playing with randoms. Playing with friends is a little clunky, to say the least.
yeah,
Well, we
but
did
it's
that
the fact-
mod, remember?
But yeah, and there's
That was terrible. It crashed a million times. I couldn't get it to work.
well, that was because
properly.
it was also the like early beta of it. It's fine now.
that's
I've-
what I mean. Though, like, what? I don't know. It's just always felt kind of strange. I'm down for them to totally just make it better. That's for sure. I've always
No
felt
way,
like it
it's
was
still going to be
very,
password
very weird.
system. They've already
Oh,
said that.
no.
No. Just
Oh,
press
no.
button for 2-player, please.
There's no 2-player option. You can't play.
Well, multiplayer then. It was a simplification ideal, not how it actually is.
I also think they said there's no invaders.
I kind of like the invaders, even though they'd fuck up my day. That was always interesting.
I think it's more with the fact of the roguelike session.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Where
Does make
because
sense.
this is the other thing is like those final bosses are going to be a pain in the ass to learn.
Yeah, because
death
it
means
takes
the
so long
run's
to get to
over.
them. Yeah, because it takes so long to get to them, and if you die, that's just it. And you have to do a whole new run. 40 minutes? That's a long time.
I mean
It's
that.
a league game.
I mean that's about
Yeah,
what I would
well,
expect
to-
out of a roguelike run.
To try to fight, like this is a Souls game. Is
I know,
more what
that's
I
the
mean.
thing, is-
Like,
But
like
also,
I meant more like time between tries for a final boss, and it's random too. So you may not fight the same one.
we don't know if it's
Ooh.
completely random because it said the way they phrased it was there's 8 bosses to unlock. So it sounds like there might be conditions
Oh, I got
for who fights. But
Okay.
the thing is also that like you dying doesn't mean it's over in terms of other people can res you if you go down. Basically,
Oh, that's nice.
it's only when the entire party is wiped out that it's game over. From what I understand.
It's going to be interesting. I've never played a Souls game in kind of this strange way, so I'm excited to give it a try.
I love roguelikes. I love Souls games. I am very excited to see what they do with it. Also, the stake driver is basically a pile driver, and I am down for that, or a pile bunker, and I am down for that.
All right.
Just,
Well, I think is there anything else about the Game Awards that we got to go over? I think that's kind of it, right?
I didn't even watch it.
Game Awards. Why do I need to watch that?
I couldn't.
I have other people to tell me what the interesting parts.
Hey, I tried. You saw me. I popped in and out. I was trying to watch it. I just couldn't. I physically could not.
All right.
But if that's that, we ain't got time for news. We're done.
What do you mean? We've only almost been here
No,
for like 2
no.
hours.
I have to edit all of this, and I'm already.
We don't
mad.
have to do the podcast anymore.
I'm
It's
already
fine. We can
mad.
stop, Liz. If it's that much of a problem, we'll cut your workload by just not doing it. Is that better?
Yeah. Let's just fucking. Never mind.
All
That
right.
joke's not
Dang.
funny anymore.
I had something to go over too. Oh well, that's okay. We could save it.
Well, if you wanted to, if you want to make it fast, because you were talking about it beforehand.
It's not a huge thing. It's just kind of
Okay.
weird and interesting. So you know how the creator of RuneScape is making Brighter Shores now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something weird happening now where we have the
Uh-oh.
creator of The Sims making their
No.
first new game in over a decade. And it's the weirdest game I've ever seen.
What game is that again? I think I'm gonna like saw something on that
It's-
and it looks strange.
It's called Proxy.
Oh no, okay. No, I have not heard of that. What?
I've heard
It is a quote from Games Radar: ambitious AI life simulator, where
Ooh, I'm interested.
what you do is you tell the game your memories, like you like tell it memories about yourself, and it will replay your memories in the game until eventually, as you give it more memories, it starts recreating the world that you've experienced.
I'm scared.
All I can think of is that fucking picture of the junk personality test classifies you as catastrophic failure.
And it's supposed to start remaking like people that you know too in the game.
That
This is probably this is dangerous.
That feels
territory.
invasive.
and he says the reason that he's trying to make it like this is quote, the more I can make a game about you, the more you'll like it. Yeah,
this is gonna hit the uncanny valley, and it's gonna be way
Yeah.
too creepy.
I mean, on top of that, how much information do I want to give a game?
You want my social
Yeah, I
security
don't-
number? Here you go, game.
And apparently the aim of this project is to enhance but not replace human to human interactions. And it does this by creating kind of like virtual and digital pals that are based on your memories of actual people.
This sounds like the loneliest thing in the world.
I don't know how to feel about it. It's like, it's very strange. And then you look at the gameplay and you're just like, what even is this? It looks like a fake game. Like there's no way this is real.
It's
Like,
And this is brought to you by the Sims creator, right? So
Yeah.
that's like the loneliest. I'm not going to work or making friends. I'm doing it all right here.
I'm just like, imagine just you get home and instead of talking to people, like you talk to the game about people you've known and experiences you've had with them, and it remakes those people and you talk to them instead. Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go play with my real friends on my face.
That is, I don't know.
But what if AI
That's-
me is better than me?
It gets along better with the memories of your friends than you do. Oh man.
Just crying. Or everyone just thinks you're a shitty person. Just start shit talking you constantly. Oh, this game, it could make you need therapy.
It's definitely unique. Definitely a unique project. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. So this is something being made by Will Wright, who is he's the one who basically co-founded Maxis, which developed the Sims series. And yeah, this is what he's making. He's also the same person that made Spore too, if you guys remember that game.
Oh man, that's a
Disappointment.
that's only the
Spore-
second half.
Yeah, Spore honestly had so much potential. It's like one of the only games of its kind, to be honest.
It's
It's
just
just
us.
it was kind of a not great. The second half is not done well.
It's also just how much more was promised than delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it
Not
honestly
quite No
delivers a
Man's
lot
Sky,
for its
but-
time. To be fair, yeah. But yeah, that's something that they're working on right now is Proxy. So I'm gonna be following that, and we'll see how that goes. I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, that's not even something I'm seeing outside. I mean, virtual girlfriends, I see that sometimes. People get addicted to those. But like this isn't in the zeitgeist enough, like fake people, fake friends I guess, I feel like the video games industry kind of propels things forwards in some respect where you wouldn't get the same amount of ingenuity
Yeah.
in other aspects. And then you can kind of take from that and apply it to other parts of life.
This reminds me of like the whole metaverse that like Facebook, well now Meta, was
Yeah.
talking about back in the day, and like no one could actually like define like what that even meant. It was like so out there, and it just ended up not being a thing.
Yeah, because it was convoluted as shit for trying to buy stuff when I could just click something on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
This though is way more tangible of like, oh, you're
Yeah.
actually creating like a digital world from what you've experienced just by telling it what you've experienced, and it just makes it.
I'm now imagining someone posting videos of this like on YouTube and people tracking down who they are based off their recreated.
That's what
Yeah.
that was my first thought. I'm not going to tell this everything. I'm going to tell it fake things. Like, yeah, I dated Cindy Crawford in the 7th grade. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Okay?
about it. Meanwhile, Proxy worrying about it.
Proxy
Oh, no.
calls your bluff.
It calls
Tell
her
me the truth.
like the real her.
Oh, okay.
You gotta close it out. I'm not letting you leave yet.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because that was like one of the wildest things I've seen in a while. Is
No, that
is
was
this
worth
project.
hearing about.
Yeah. That is
I'm
it for me.
interested. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. We do really have to end though. So thank y'all for listening to our, I guess it is an extra special Christmas episode because it's 2 hours long.
Yay! We did it.
We will be back after Christmas, and I don't know if anything will change, but we'll be here. If you have any questions or comments, hit us up at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com or leave something on the video. I don't care what. It's all good. Woo. Yeah, that's it. We'll catch you in the new year. Happy holidays and happy New Year's.
Yeah, see you
Goodbye.
next
Happy
year.
holidays.
Goodbye.
Maybe. Boy.